Well, here I would like to share a spooky experience which I had in October 2008. I was 22 at the time. One of my school friend asked me to accompany him to his native place Jalore, Rajasthan, as Navratri was being celebrated. As I was in my early 20s and wanted to explore new places, I agreed without giving second thought. Back to story. After an excruciating 20+ hours bus journey from Bombay till Mount Abu and then to Jalore, we reached a small village. I don't remember the name. The place was exactly the same what I ever thought a village in Rajasthan will be. My friend who wanted to perform some Devi Puja at one of the small house in the same village. We reached the house at around 4 p.m. I was really not interested in that puja, though my friend told me that the lady in that house is blessed by Devi, and during Navratri post sunset that lady gets possessed by Devi and she bless everyone who visit her, and she was also known for hearing to problems of the devotees and providing suggestions to them to get rid of their problems. Anyways, I witnessed all this happening. By the time everything was wrapped up, it was 10 p.m. My friend suggested me to stay back at his place, but I wanted to reach Bombay very next day due to some important work. I could not afford to stay back and kill the time. Instead, I convinced him to leave for Bombay now so that we reach Bombay in time. We wanted to reach Mount Abu railway station, which was 120 km away from that place. It was a deserted village and finding the transport at that time was next to impossible. After putting some effort, we found one guy who showed some interest as I offered him the double charge to transport us to Mount Abu. Eventually he agreed. He asked us that he will come in some 30 minutes and from there we can move toward our destination. Meanwhile, the villagers asked us to stay back and not to travel at that time because according to them the entire area was believed to be paranormally active and many of them have personally experienced. Quoting Veda, ISS Vatyanathik Nihai Yahan Pibahat Kucha Jeep Hota Hai Tum Log Ko Yahan K Bear Main Kuch Pata Nihai. Mat Jao. More than asking, they were requesting us, but I had made my mind and just ignored whatever they were saying. Driver's 30 minutes turned out to be 90 minutes, but finally he arrived after having some pegs of whiskey. Finally we left. It was a typical open blue Jeep. My lazy friend, he went to the back seat and dozed off while I was sitting next to driver and chatting around. The only light available there was Jeep's headlight. The road condition was very poor in patches, so after driving few kilometers, maybe 15 to 20 kilometers, there was a patch which had lot of potholes. To pass that, Jeep has to slow down to 5 to 10 km/h speed. So while crossing that patch I heard someone whispering in my ears as I very clearly, and very next moment I heard a loud laugh as if someone in the Jeep is sitting and laughing. I quickly checked the back seat where my friend who was in deep sleep. Very next moment I looked at driver, that did he also listen that, and he was looking at me for the same reason. Now we both were terrified. He pressed the accelerator as hard he can. Soon Jeep was running at 90 km/h. We both terrified. Driver was cursing himself for getting ready to drop us despite knowing the spookiness of that place. The laugh was frequent and loud. With every passing second we were becoming more scared. I was looking here and there in Jeep and outside to figure out what was happening when driver shouted suddenly and asked me to not look back, reason to which he said someone has just kept his hand on his shoulder. It was now becoming very hard for us to believe what was happening. Suddenly we saw someone through headlight's light at the corner of the road at some distance trying to cross the road in middle of nowhere. As our Jeep was getting close to him, he came in the middle of the road and stood there. We both were noticing this, but we were terrified. Some 10 feet distance was remaining between that man and the Jeep. He just vanished. Now, we both were almost freeze, not uttering any word. He kept driving at same pace till we reached Mount Abu. This experience still sends chill down my spine. I cannot forget that night.